Yeah.
Hey.
What I don't. What is your actual name? Underscore.
Kellen. Kellen. Yeah,
So, you were there.
I was there.
Are you from the area or are you staying in a
No,
hotel?
no, I'm from here. I live in Broward County, like
Broward
5 minutes away.
County. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Is that 305?
No, it's 954.
I went to the University of Miami and I couldn't remember if it extended into Broward or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Um.
Stop.
Okay. So, where in the venue were you?
Right behind the bottle service people.
What the
So,
what?
yeah, so like right outside of the pit, there's like 2 rows of very prototypically South Florida like bottle service areas.
Did they
So basically
have
like
sparklers coming out of the prosecco
no,
bottles or?
no, but it kind of felt like it should have been like a New Year's Eve show or something like that. But yeah, so right behind those people, but still like on the main level, like front row on that main level, but not in the pit. So yeah, like perfect view, I guess, and kind of stage left, so kind of right in front of Stone.
Okay. So, sounds pretty good. I mean, I know it's like a very small venue, like 6,000 people or something like that.
Yeah, it was actually very loud. Like I was kind of surprised. But unlike Dead Pioneers, everybody kind of cut through the mix really well. Versus the opener was really hard to distinguish kind of what was happening. Granted, I don't know their music, so that was maybe part of it. But
Okay.
yeah, the venue sounded great.
That was the rub. That was what everyone was saying when the venues came out. Everyone was like, "Hard rock,
Yeah,
small ass indoor event. Like, what?" And then it was like, "Oh, so and so big rock star was like, no, you gotta go play here." I mean, it's the same reason why Ed played the YouTube Theater here, which is like, I don't know if you know the YouTube
no,
Theater, but it's a small ass like 2-tiered indoor amphitheater style thing. Probably seats like 3,000 people. And it basically sits at the lowest point of SoFi Stadium where the Rams play.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's weird that you walk past the football stadium and it's like, oh, there's the thing. So I saw Ed there and it was super small. And the reason he said that he decided to play there as opposed to like the Wiltern, which is a pretty famous theater out here where he's played before solo, is that was it Bruce? I forget who told him to. You got to go play YouTube. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Sound.
yeah.
So I'm guessing it's the same reason why they decided to play there. And casinos pay they pay the money, so why not?
Oh shoot,
Um,
losing connection.
so the acoustic sounded good. It sounded great.
Yeah, it sounded really great. And Ed's voice was fantastic. That was something that I haven't seen them in over 20 years. Like my
Shut
last show
up,
with them was, yeah,
Kellen.
2003, I think, Alpine Valley, in
Oh,
Wisconsin. So I've lived in South Florida. I didn't see them in 2016. So it's been forever. So I was really stoked to hear Dark Matter and Matt's drumming on that. And Ed's voice, like what it was going to be like live. And it was, I don't know. I cried like for the first hour. Like it was really wild just and I didn't expect that, but to be at a show when, I've followed the band like everybody forever. And just was kind of overwhelmed at what it was like. So it was great.
I am so happy for you. I
Thank you.
am. Having not seen the band for so long and you get the rush again.
Yeah.
First of all, I imagine on the one hand you were like, "Oh, I'm back where I belong. This makes sense. This feels right."
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
at the same time, you're like, "God, it's been a," because I'm sure you've been to many concerts in between. But a program show is different when it hits you a certain way, like it does for all of us. And so while it feels familiar, you're also like, "God damn, this is new. There's so many songs I've not seen."
Right.
And,
And I would say from that show, there were a couple of repeats, like Crazy Mary, I think Alive, but that was the Riot Act tour. So most of that set list was very Riot Act heavy. So like God's Dice, Save You, Love Boat Captain, like a lot of that stuff. And so like think of all the records that have come out between now and
Amongst
then.
the Waves, you got that.
Yeah,
Down.
yeah.
They played Down. I mean, that came out around
No,
that time, but
no way. Right, because that was when Lost Dogs came out, like right before that show.
right. Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
um
Um,
like
had you
Leatherman,
seen
that was wild.
had you seen Present Tense before?
No, no, and so 20 years, like that's also the time in the last 20 years, I've gotten married, I've had 3 kids, I was there with my
Oh,
daughter, so it was,
tonight?
yeah,
Was
yeah,
there a first
yeah, it
show?
was, yeah, it was like her first concert ever, right?
Oh,
So, yeah,
telling.
yeah,
Fuck.
it was pretty cool.
Oh,
So,
dude.
and she wanted wish list, present
Got it.
tense,
Got it.
yeah. She was hoping for a daughter. I was hoping for a daughter. Didn't get it. She's not going on Saturday. I am. So maybe I'll send her a video if we get it then.
I think you're gonna get it on Saturday.
Probably.
That's one of those like quasi staples that if there's two shows in a town and you
Yeah.
don't hear Better Man, you're gonna get it. If you don't hear Given to Fly, you're gonna get it next time.
Right.
So you'll probably get that. Yeah. How old is she?
She's 15.
So,
She would have been
at the
6.
time,
She would have been 6 in 2016 at that show. Yeah.
right? So yeah, that's too young. But Paul and I took our kids, our oldest kids, to Ohana this past year.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was the whole family. My parents were there too, and so my kid at the time had just turned 7.
Okay.
Was young, I know. And then Paul's daughter was 10, and both of their first shows, and obviously both first Pearl Jam shows, and it's just like, I mean, my kid loves playing drums, and they open up with Garden, and I'm holding him up, and he's like, and I'm like, huh? This is the thing. This is what you want. Like, did you look over at your daughter at any point and being like, oh, my world's.
And
Like,
she was kind of
I
like
can't hear you.
surprised and appreciative.
Are you covering your mic?
Oh, maybe. Sorry, can you hear me
There you
now?
go. Sorry. There you go.
She was also like surprised, appreciative, and a little bit of like prototypically like teenage apathy and annoyance to my like predicting what was coming next, right? So it was like, oh, acoustic, Stone's playing in A minor, Crazy Mary, and I was like, you'll get a live next. When Ed came out and he had the red Telecaster, I was like, it's gonna be Woke Back Down. She's like, what's that? It's like Tom Petty. She's like, oh my god. So like that was fun for me too, because I've listened to so many shows in the last 20 years, so I kind of know, like you guys who have been like,
Yep.
you follow the band, you journal the band, you track them, have followed them around and seen so many shows. I've listened to so many, so it was like, okay, yeah, like I do know my shit, but I haven't been here, so that was like super overwhelming. It was really fun.
That's amazing. And it's so funny you talk about seeing a certain guitar and being like, oh, running is next, I can tell. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
the same way. I see certain guitars or I see whatever and I go, all right, I know it's coming up.
Yeah.
But, oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad you had a good time. And I'm so glad she had a good time. And I hope, how was the crowd, by the way, compared to like your last crowd?
I mean, I would say it was very South Florida, right? So like everybody in the pit, like, it was there. I don't know about the pit tickets, like how those came, because I did the Ticketmaster like log on thing and wait and
Yeah.
pay the all in pricing part. I'm not a 10 Club member, never have been, so I don't know how those tickets even got purchased. But my guess is mostly everybody in the pit was awesome. People around me, like there was a guy in front of me who he was older than me, so he was in his 50s, and he was like out of his mind, rocking, like yelling every lyric. That was great. So my experience was great. My daughter kind of looked around and was like looking at a lot of the kind of people South Florida-esque who didn't necessarily seem like they knew the band that much.
Yeah.
Like you had somebody with a Punisher t-shirt on with a bunch of rifles, and I was like, what are they doing here?
Yeah. I don't think you know what this band stands for.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But like once the show started, it was great. And even like deeper cuts and kind of like things that came out that people weren't expecting or didn't know. It wasn't like all of a sudden like this big distractible group of people who were like talking and not paying attention. Like it was a very captive audience, even for the opening act, like very captive audience. So
We're
it was nice.
I'm gonna try. I think we're gonna get him. We're gonna get Greg, the singer from Dead Pioneers, on the show
Okay.
after their run. I think they have 4 dates. So after the Atlanta shows, we're gonna try and get Greg on to talk to him about their music, because it's very intriguing to me, that their style, and to see how it went opening for a band like Pearl Jam.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, thank you for giving me your story, and I'm so happy that I'm so glad that you chimed in to come on because wow, 20 years, bring your daughter for the first concert. That is epic.
Yeah,
And
it was great.
I'm stoked for you, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I didn't know that I could even do this, but
You can. You have.
great. So I love the pod. Keep listening. I'll
Thank
be
you.
there on Saturday as well. So, and I'll follow up with you guys who are following the other shows. So
Amazing. Yeah. I'm gonna try and do this after as many shows as I can. You know, family permitting. And these are the only shows you're going to, yeah?
Yeah, just these two.
Okay.
Now, I did have this fantasy that they were going to run through every album in full, like so 10 tonight versus on Saturday.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
That's right.
Vitology in Atlanta, and I knew that if that was going to happen, I was going to find my way into Atlanta because I gotta hear Bugs, but that's never going to happen. So anyway,
you gotta be in Philadelphia 15 years ago for that.
That's right. That's the only time they played it with the accordion.
It might have been twice.
Okay.
I think they played it in like Sydney like forever ago, but
okay.
I don't know. Anyway,
all right. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. Kick me out. I don't know how to leave here, but I want to.
I don't know how to make you leave either. Let's see here. God, I don't know what to do.
Maybe I'll leave and come back.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up?
How are you? What's your real name?
Jason.
Oh.
I'm actually, funny enough, I am neighbors with Sheehan in Austin.
Are you really?
I'm a native from Miami, but I live in Austin for a while.
What part of Miami?
Like Kendall.
Kendall.
Yeah, like where you said you went to University of Miami, so I live even south of that a little bit. So yeah, born and raised.
The Ale House.
Oh yeah.
Dude, when I was in college, I think it was Wednesdays, was 10-cent wings with pictures of Bud Light.
Yeah.
Count me there.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of that's still the same. But yeah.
There was a really good, and nobody cares about this, but there was a really good dim sum place like a block down the street from there that we used to go to that had, I'll never forget this, they had white chrysanthemum tea, and it was fucking delicious. I don't know how I remember that, but I do. Anyways, so you were there tonight.
It was amazing.
What number show is this for you?
Probably around 15.
Okay, solid number. And you've been in Austin for how long?
Oh, more than a decade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
last shows, these were my first shows on Dark Matter tour. Oh. Last ones I saw were Austin. Okay. 2 years ago.
Oh, I was in Austin too.
Yeah.
I probably saw you at some point.
Probably.
So first time seeing the Dark Matter songs in person.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Won't tell, dude. Everyone knows there's songs, they move you in certain ways. There's always going to be those songs that, like the last guy was saying, just brings tears to your eyes. That was it for me. That was the one. Man, that song is so beautiful.
Can I ask you why?
Actually, mostly the harmony. So, yeah, how do I describe? So I have a difficult time describing how music makes me feel, and it's in particular how music makes me feel. And there's a line from my Morning Jacket in a song where he talks about it's not really the words that the guy's singing, it's not really the music, it's not the band. It's there's a soul, there's something there with music, and in particular for me, Pearl Jam, since for ages since I was a kid, and there's just something there that just it makes the hair stand up on your arm. It makes my heart beat faster. And my mouth gets dry. That's the only way I can verbally describe it to people. And then when you're in that room and the shared feeling with all those people, I'm not a religious person, but that's like the closest to how I feel just being out of my body.
I am also not a religious person. I will tell you that I did, as maybe you did too when you were younger, I did spend many a Sunday in a Catholic church because, Grandma was proper Italian, so you were going to church. I was even an altar boy, for Christ's sake, for a while.
Yeah.
So I know what that thing is, and not being any of that now. I told my wife, she's been to a number of shows with me now at this point because I drag her.
Yeah.
But she's a fan.
Yeah.
And I go, babe, this is my church. We were in Wrigley last year. Yeah. And I go, look around you. Look at all the lights. this is where I feel like I've got connected souls. I don't know any of these fucking people, but it doesn't matter.
I was describing it to my parents the other night, and my father likes to ski, and he says, where I feel in touch with the universe, where I feel my happy place is when I'm skiing down a run, and you just have that perfect run in the wind blowing. And I said, Dad, imagine that feeling for 3 fucking hours. 3 hours of that feeling, just that. I was like, that's the perfect analogy. I just get that for 3 hours, and it's
Dad,
just like,
it's tantric skiing.
yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, man.
Okay, I totally get it. And I want to know: was this your first time seeing a show at that venue?
At that venue, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
I had
recall
seen
him
it.
telling me.
There was another venue there at that particular hotel decades ago, but I got to tell you that was the thing. This particular venue, yeah, the size, cool, small, but the acoustics in this
Yeah.
place. I went with three other buddies, hardcore fans, and I kept turning to them. I'm like, you can hear every instrument in this place. Like this is amazing. When you look up in particular, so when you're in the venue, there's acoustic tiles all over the
Mm-hmm.
walls. If you look up at the ceiling, they're big, huge acoustic cubes. The ceiling is decorated not with metal rafters, they're the cubes
It's made for
that I
this.
assume are it is made for this. And you walk in there, you go, oh yeah, this is again. We have in Austin, we have the Moody Theater where they film like Austin City
Right.
Limits
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's much smaller than this, but this theater was designed to see live music. And for a band like
Uh,
that, like Footsteps tonight, I was like, oh, everything is cutting through
yeah.
beautifully.
I think for me that was the biggest. I mean, because listen, we all have the FOMO for every fucking show we're not at,
Yeah.
but these particular shows, there's a specific FOMO in for that particular reason because for so many of us that have seen them a number of times. I mean, I've seen them at an amphitheater. I saw him at the Coral Sky Amphitheater in West
I
Palm
was
Beach.
there. I was there.
Okay, at my second show, 2003,
Yeah.
when Ed said, "Hey, I think that's the tallest point in Florida."
Yeah. I
I
was
was
there.
there. I've seen him in hockey arenas. I've seen him in baseball stadiums. I've seen him at the beach. So you get different ways that the sound waves reflect off of whatever the hell is in the building or the people and where the people are at and how far away they are. And even seeing them at the Forum in '06 when it was pre-remodel, it was still like the ghosts of the Lakers. and then and then after Prince did his run of shows there, they completely rejudged it, and then now it's like made for music, and it's something special when you get a band that you really love, especially in a venue that is dialed. So that's why I'm so jealous of you guys for these shows because you get to hear this band that we love so much just in pristine.
That's that's what makes the show. Again, I've seen him in all those venues too, and seeing any band you love where the acoustics are like that,
Yeah,
yeah, it takes your breath
because like
away.
it isn't like there's like a ton of history with Pearl Jam in Florida. I mean, they've done a number of shows there, and some of them are pretty interesting. I mean, Bayfront Park '94, people busting down the gates and like,
Ba-
uh,
My first one was the Fort Lauderdale baseball stadium.
oh yeah, '96,
That
yeah, yeah,
that was
yeah.
my first one, and
Now the Inter Miami practice facility, but
yeah, it's I don't know what it is anymore, but
so
yeah,
I've heard. But so there isn't like a ton of history with South Florida. Like, so if you go to Atlanta, like there's obviously history there, you
yeah.
know. And so I think you go to certain cities for some of that nostalgia, some of that history, or whatever you want to call it. But for this venue, it's like, oh man, that's why I was like, oh, God,
Yeah, it was, and it was so, not, I don't want to poo-poo South Florida home base, whatever. But for sports or for anything, people can be fair weather
oh yeah,
here. And, seeing Pearl Jam in other places where I was way impressed with the crowd tonight. Like people knew their stuff. I believe I was sitting behind the woman who's in charge of the Wish List Foundation because
Laura or Jenny.
don't No, she had a tattoo that was the no code symbol, and in it,
Did she have big red curly
no.
hair? Okay.
But she
Uh,
said she was going to all the shows on the tour, and I overheard her conversation, and she was talking about, yeah, we're sitting here, we're selling, stuff to raise money for the foundation. So I'm
okay.
pretty sure that's who she
Okay.
was. Um, so yeah, we were with people that were diehards. Now, I have one big complaint,
Talk to me.
big one. Merch was very limited. Very. So here's my story.
Okay.
We got there, so we knew you can get there at noon, get the merch. We were working today, didn't get a chance to get there. We got there at 3 o'clock just to get merch. Okay. We go to the special area, which is nice inside. All the show specific merch gone. Gone
Mm.
at 3 o'clock. We're like, I go to the front. I'm like, hey, are they going to have some of this show specific merch inside the venue? She said, limited amount. We got as soon as we could get in there, there was a
Mm-hmm.
line, very limited. I got a poster. I collect posters from all bands I see. That was my goal. Couldn't get a license plate. Skate decks were gone. My experience, though, usually there's enough merch that if you're in the venue, you can still get
Right.
what you need to get. There was and we got in there early. In 20 minutes, all the show specific merch was gone, and we were like, "Whoa, we
Was
got to
it
get there."
were there really long lines, or do you think it was just a limited supply?
I think it
Someone
was limited supply. The lines were not bad. The
Helen
lines were,
said thin merch, yeah. And no, Helen
yeah,
says no skate decks to be found.
yeah. It was a bum out. Like I've never had a problem getting merch. I'm fine waiting, but I was like, "Ooh, this
You
is
know,
very limited."
I I wonder if the venue has something to do with that, because when you're in a casino, when you're in a small theater like that, a lot of times um, there's a lot of control and a lot of leverage on the side of the venue, and they might say you only get these two closets, so whatever you can do, good for you,
Oh,
because
there
they
were
can't.
plenty of spots to buy it. There were plenty of spots. We're wondering if smaller venue, they print less merchandise.
That too. That too. Here's what we'll know. We will know. And by the way, if anybody has missed a poster, by the way, this fucking poster ripped. Kobe crushed it tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on amosbrothers.com tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. They're selling a limited amount. So if you missed out, go buy one online tomorrow morning in like 12 hours. So, but I hear you.
That was the
I
only complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, it was a great show.
I wonder if I mean I was just thinking maybe there's resellers. Here's what we'll know tomorrow on if there's a ton on PJ Bay, you're gonna know if it was people just trying to pay off
I thought
their
it was a
contract.
limit of two. I thought it was a limit 2 posters per person.
I mean, it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
What I'm confused though is tomorrow on their off day, you can still buy merch. I'm like, what could you possibly buy unless they release Saturday stuff early? Which then I'm like, shit, I got to
Yeah,
get there tomorrow to get Saturday's merch.
they've done that in the past. The off day will be Saturday stuff and whatever's left over from tonight. Now, I feel like in some instances, and I could be wrong, someone could correct me, that if that they hold back and say, okay, here's an extra box, we'll keep that for tomorrow. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's been the case before. And if they have extra, they'll hold it through multiple shows. I remember being in Austin and seeing Fort Worth posters.
Correct.
So, and if you see in 3 weeks that there's a a Hollywood, Florida night one poster available on PJ.com, then you know that the band received a bunch to have as their stock for later. I mean, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how it works. You have to find Chris Siglin and be like, Mr. T-shirt, why? Banging on your
I,
door.
I actually saw a guy. I saw a guy holding the bag, and I was like, well, that's him. It was Mr. T-shirt bag, but I don't know. I know
Kellen
that.
says, lady at one of the 3 places I checked said they may have some extra show specific merch tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, they said there's going to be stuff there, but like people there didn't know. They didn't know stuff.
Uh, yeah, it's a bummer. I'm luckily I got what I wanted from the Dark Matter parade of things last year, and all I really care about when I go to Nashville is the
Yeah,
poster because I collect
that's all.
all of
Me
them
too.
from the shows that I've been
I
to.
have, I have
Hey,
the
look at that
single
one.
one. Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah. So that's all I really care about, and none of the new stuff really tickles my pickle. So I'm not too worried about it. But for those that are, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully, it changes come tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm where I actually can. Let me do this. Boom.
Beautiful, love it,
Yeah.
love it. Very
My
nice.
my story of that same show behind you. Someone threw that shirt on the
This?
stage. Yeah, yeah. The West Palm one.
Oh,
Someone threw it on the stage, and at the end of the show, I was pretty close, and I was like, "Hey, that shirt. Can I grab that shirt?" Security guard was like, "Okay, sure." I was like, "This is great. It's my favorite
oh,
shirt. I wear it all
you
the time."
weirdo! You wear this disgusting
Yeah,
sweatsuit shirts. Yeah,
it was like
yeah.
great. Sure, I was a
Good
kid. I was
man.
like,
So now
awesome.
you got a story.
Yeah, I got it. But I got that basketball behind you. I got all that stuff. Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
meaningful
psychotic.
stuff. It's meaningful
Well,
stuff.
besides, before you go,
Yeah.
besides Won't Tell, what else stuck out to you song wise?
Loved Leatherman. Loved Footsteps.
Anything you didn't hear before?
Amongst the Waves.
Cool,
Never heard that one before.
right on.
Um, I'm very excited for Saturday. It's very 10 heavy. We got only one from No Code, one from Yield,
No, I tell.
no verses.
Cool story.
Yes, we got no
No
verses.
verses. Wow.
Um, so I think Saturday is going to be a good one.
Better Man, Given to Fly, Daughter. I would expect those.
Yep.
And then who knows what other stuff they sprinkle in. Opener, what's going to happen?
What's that?
What opener are they going to play?
Oh, dude, I called tonight Ocean, so I don't. I was like, oh, they got to do it. They were coming out with all the Ocean stuff. I have no idea what Saturday is going to be. I don't know. I,
Helen says Wash. I love that
yeah,
idea.
I
Go with
go with
that.
that one. I go with that one. Yeah,
Well, Jason, thank you for popping in and telling me your
my
story. And I hope you have a
pleasure.
fabulous time on Saturday.
Keep up the great work with the podcast. I love listening to
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, it's as a fan, you guys are doing a great job. Your guests are awesome. The interviews are awesome, and whether you see it through socials and stuff like that, you've got lots of people, fans supporting you. So keep up the good
We
work.
appreciate it. It's hard to tell when you're a screen away from
I
everybody and
know.
all you see is a little number next to a
Yeah,
heart. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know if I'm reaching anybody. But we got some cool shit coming down the pike over the next couple of months. I will
I
say that.
I love it. I mean,
Maybe some big surprises. I don't know. We're still trying to run
hey man,
things.
the interview with Mike, we got there early because we had to get merch, and we were just on that interview with Mike. It was great. We were talking about the tones and the guitar.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, man.
Hopefully more of that to come. I'm working in the background. I'm trying to make the magic happen. We'll see.
Any of this stuff, you know, we're all gobbling it up. So keep up the good work.
All right, brother. Take care. I think you're popping in.
You got it.
All
Take
right.
care.